In 2013, a degenerate gambling puppet was sent to prison for fixing a fantasy football game. He promptly escaped to the fantasy football underground. He still survives as a fantasy football bookie. If you don't know who to start, if you don't know who to cut, and you have yourself a six-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon to give up, maybe you could hire Johnny Vegas.
Welcome to week 1 of the Bored People's Fantasy Football League. Are you happy? Really happy with all this? Me too. I'm extremely happy. And I'm glad to have you all back. So let's get right to this week's Pics. This is the fun part of the season for you all. What I want you to do is look around at the beautiful 10 teams of the BPFFL. Because after this week, there's only going to be 5 undefeated, and 5 will know the hideous, bitter taste of defeat. And speaking of defeat, let's get to our first match, Extractors versus Thunder. Extractors were extremely shrewd, but the Thunder got the number 1 player. And as much as I love Leonard Fournette on the Thunder, I don't think he's going to be enough to motivate that team in 1 week. So therefore, I'm giving this one to the Extractors by 7.
Would you draft me? I'd draft me. I'd draft me so hard.
Eli Manning, get away from my camera! Ah! This episode of the Johnny Vegas Show is brought to you by Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. Nom 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 nom. Up next, we have the Roughnecks taking on the Vandals. What's great about this one is the Collins Vandals, I believe, are hip deep into what I like to call destiny. Great picks that are maturing at the right time, great draft, one of my favorite teams, and the one I think is going to go all the way this year. But that said, I think they're going to lose in week 1 to the Roughnecks, because the Roughnecks are viciously aggressive and very hungry. They want that title even more. And I think as everybody's trying to find their mojo, I think the Roughnecks will find theirs first. Roughnecks by 2. The blue box is calling us. Up next, we have the High-Dye Hangmen going up against the Irving A-Holes. Now, the Hangmen this year were very surreptitious in the draft. They were nearly invisible, sneaky, and sly. They kind of slid into the building without looking and slid out with a great draft. How did they do it?
Gee, Davy, do you think it was God?
I don't know. But I do know that what they did was not enough. And the Irving A-Holes came in really sharp, really focused, and wearing a 3-piece suit that makes my clothes look like tattered rags. So for that alone, I'm giving this one A-Holes by 8. Do you know in Canada, this is called Kraft Dinner? And it tastes even better. But you live in America, you pay the price. America. By the way, that sound you hear? My underpants. Up next, we have the Terror going up against Team Snicketipus. I love this one. This one is hard-nosed, in-your-face action. You know what it's like that day after Thanksgiving when you go shopping because you want to look like a real big man and a real big spender, yet not actually spend any money? And you know how violent it gets in those stores? The parking lots alone are bloodbaths. That's what we're going to get when the Terror takes on the Snicketipus. And let's be honest, I love the Snicketipus dearly, but the Terror is the crazed mom who finds a Cabbage Patch doll that looks surreptitiously like my daddy? Terror by 8. Kraft macaroni and cheese! Cook it up or eat it raw! Yummy! And last but certainly not least, we have the Slaughterhouse going up against the Senators. This is one of the greatest division rivalries in history, and these are two teams that are not going to stop until the other one is dead. Dead as a doorknob. So with that said, I'm going to give my lock of the week to Slaughterhouse by 9. And the reason I'm going to give them the lock of the week is there's something a little screwy about Jimmy. He showed up in really weird form. He was the only person in the first round to take a wide receiver. I think he's gone criminally insane, but I can't talk freely. You know what I mean? Slaughterhouse by 9! You're so cuddly. You're so lovable. Meh. Well, that's all we got for this week. Good luck to all the teams out there. Thank you for watching, and see you again real soon. Whee! Underpants! Now we done got that out the way, let's have some fun.